And we are live with the map already, so let's jump right into it. Starting to the top right, we have the Terran player with a pretty incredible showing so far at the tournament here. He's currently 8-0 in map scores and the tournament here at the ASUS ROG. Incredible performance. Can he keep that up? Or will the streak end here on the third game, third map against the Zerg opponent? ForGG here in camera, of course. The Terran player going up against a Zerg for Team Liquid. Starting to the top left, we have Snute. And Snute had a pretty decent group there. He finished second behind Deer against Harstem. He said, like, yeah, he made a couple of mistakes. And actually it was quite funny because I asked him, so why did it go into the fifth map? And he's like, well, I didn't build enough swarm hosts.
Nice.
And so far we also didn't see a lot of swarm hosts from him in this game. But of course that was only kind of something that he could have done in the second map where we had the mech style from ForGG. But I feel that he would have built a lot of the swarm hosts if he really had that third base that the Terran player sniped early on in the game.
Give him a finger, he'll take a hand. Give him an opportunity to make swarm host, he'll make 30.
Yeah, he definitely will. Yeah, very cost-efficient player.
Yeah, he specializes in cost efficiency.
Yeah, he should. I'm actually really surprised that he's not German.
Yeah.
But well.
Liquid Snute.
Yeah.
Alright, so hatchery first here. We've got the barracks refinery for ForGG. So he's going to open up with this double Reaper opening. Who will benefit the most from the high yield mineral patches, the gold bases? Is it going to be Snute or ForGG?
Well, it should be Snute. But I'm very, very...
You think he'll take his third there right away?
I don't think so. Like, I'm a little bit reluctant to call that, but in terms of the gold bases, we've seen a lot of different styles. I've seen players take it as the natural, I've seen players take it as the third, but I think the more safer option is to take it as your fourth base.
I think he should just take it as his third. What's going to be different from usual? Like, imagine a map like Frost. The third is kind of far away too. Same here. A little bit further than on Frost. But
yeah,
why not just get it for the superior mining?
It's just against Banshees, you're a little bit more vulnerable depending on what kind of composition your opponent uses when he pushes out. It's dangerous. Let's say, for example, you're going up against a Terran player that starts to go into a mech composition. Then he will have siege tanks in there. Siege tanks siege up on the low ground, and then you're in a lot of trouble.
But then by the time that they can use siege tanks aggressively, maybe you've already mined enough from the gold to make it worth it. Take your fourth in the meantime and sacrifice the gold and go to the third and the fourth at the bottom. I don't know.
But it's tricky. Even against a bio player, if you have good gold play on the high and the low ground, you can really make that work on the map. You position a couple of units on the low ground, you drop behind the mineral patches. I've seen a lot of that done to Zergs, and this is why I feel if some Zerg players just say like, okay, it's not really worth it, I expose myself too much.
Yeah.
I give my opponent just a position on the map where he can be super aggressive, and I depend a lot on that income at the third. I can't really risk
maybe
it.
if you lose it too soon, really you haven't properly earned it back yet. You won't be in a good situation. But let's see. Snute can still write his own history here.
I feel it depends a lot on how well the early game goes for you. And then a lot of Zerg players make the decision a bit on the fly and say like, all right, I did enough damage in the early game. My opponent can't be as aggressive as he would like to be. Or I had a really good early game. I can now really take that. But for now, the early game actually is looking pretty solid for ForGG. I actually thought he killed that second drone, but he just barely was able to.
He should have. I mean, normally if the Reaper dealt its full payload of damage, but Reaper attacks twice, and if you stop them exactly in the middle, they shoot once. So he aborted one of the Reaper shots by being really quick with the stutter step. Because Reaper does like 2 attacks of 4, and I think the drone survived with 1 life. So.
Yeah, by the way, okay, there we go. Here is the stim upgrade already started, so we're not going to see mech, which is actually something that we could see on this map in particular.
Yeah, they could be so good on this map.
I've seen, for example, I casted a game between Yoda and Dimarga at the WCS qualifier, which was pretty cool. And they had a massive mech Terran versus Zerg play game there, and which was really entertaining. A lot of Terran players have chosen mech for this map, but ForGG really is really just utilizing the difference in his style and his aggression, and that's once again something that comes into play here. The third taking for Snute far away to the left side, not taking the goal just yet.
Like you said.
And we have a lot of queens again for Snute, and that really helps him for now, but he needs to keep those queens on creep.
Whoa.
And one of the problems that he has with moving them away from the creep is that he's way too slow to react to this move.
Yeah, nice move there. But there's double queens here as well, so it's not too bad. Let's see how many drones he can get. So far, none. This could be an ill-fated attack here for ForGG. Will there be a block on the main ramp? So far, he's only killed Zerglings, and the queens are blocking the ramp here. He's going to try and get some drones. Will get 1 drone, 2 drones, and a 3rd.
Yeah, he kills a few, but the question, as you already pointed out, is really, is that worth it? And I guess not really. If you look at resources lost, it's very similar, but that's kind of the task force that you have on the map that is supposed to give you map dominance, map control, force the creep back, and now suddenly all of this is gone. Which means that Snute can now, for the first time, spread his creep as much as he wants at his leisure and do whatever. And look at this, like immediately creep tumors lined up. This is kind of making up for the last 2 maps. He's like, yes, finally. So that should very soon spiral a little bit out of control, give Snute great map awareness, and make it much more difficult for ForGG to engage in the early mid game.
That looked like a purple raisin cookie.
Yeah.
Lots of raisins there. Wouldn't want to eat it though. I think it's infectious. All right, Hellions. These 2 Hellions cannot take the map anymore the way that his Hellions could before. So Snute is going to get a lot more creep. And a lot of drones behind this. 8 drones on top of 60.
It just gives him a lot of safety.
Yeah.
And think about the timing here. We are not even 10 minutes into the game, and the creep spread is already better than it was in any game before, no matter what time you looked at it. So right now he's going to feel much more confident in, first of all, taking the 4th base at the gold. Second of all, having a good look at what's happening here. I'm a bit surprised that he didn't even build units to just take control of the Xel'Naga watchtower, but I guess he doesn't really have to do that right now. That's a good point.
I'm surprised too, because there was just 2 Hellions on the field. He had 8 links, and he decided that his reaction is going to be mass drones to ForGG sacrificing his scouting army. But if he had just made like 10 or 12 links extra, he could control the Xel'Naga tower and the map. And I feel like the benefits of that outweigh the extra 5 drones or so. But
what we have for going against Snute is that gold base, though. That is giving ForGG a really good mineral income. And so far we have 3 versus 3 bases, but that gold base is really working for the Terran player here. And right now the Overlord, of course, double checking and seeing that, sacrifices himself to get that information. And ForGG is trying to drop into the main. And I don't think that was spotted so far by Snute. The Overlords that are there are definitely going to get that glimpse of that drop early on. But that's a double drop headed into the main base. And just now 20 Zerglings are being built. And those links that we have there are not going to be enough. 2 Overlords are definitely going down. And he's still waiting for those Banelings. But keep in mind that we do not have the speed upgrade just yet.
yeah, not for the Banelings at any rate. It's halfway or so. Overlord, same thing. Spire was 1 minute and 20 seconds earlier this game than it was in the last game. Or at least in the first game of the series.
More Overlords taken out by this task force here. Snute is supply blocked. And is losing the creep tumors now. This is exactly what we were mentioning earlier. If you have those medivacs, that's the time to shine, where you are very confident moving out, because you know you can just simply pick up and move anywhere else on the map. There are no mutalisks that can do anything against you, and even with a high count of queens, it's just really easy to just afterburn away from whatever danger there is.
Yeah.
Nice hits also with the burrowed Widow Mines there, and doing a lot of damage against these Zerglings that are scattered across the map. We still have that gold base going strong for GG, and now 2-2 has been started, and it's something that Snute is currently just dreaming of.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. They were very much in parity with their, with their upgrades before, very evenly timed. But Snute, late on that, didn't quite have the gas, maybe because he was forced to warp in Banelings. I wanted to get those Mutalisks earlier, so that's kind of the trade-off he's made. It does make him easier now. It does make it easier for him now to stop the drops at the top.
Yeah, and talking about drops, with another one at the bottom left now.
Oh my God!
Took his 4th. Nice hit with the Widow Mine. Not the best one that he could have gotten there, but still a good one. And he is still dropping, trying to utilize the high and low ground to his advantage. And all the units at the bottom left, which means that this drop in the main base is going to wreak havoc here.
No reaction from Snute. He had all the Overlords there, all the chance in the world to see it coming. But his whole army is here. All of his ground, all of his mutas, and even now he has sent nothing up to the main base.
It could be that he's going to lose the Spire here as well.
He lost
already
the spawning
lost
pool.
the spawning pool. He's going to lose 2 Mutalisks here. And that's horrible for him. The lair is being attacked right now. And he's trying to run back with the Zerglings, but the Zerglings are being sniped one by one. A great position for the Marines here behind the mineral patches. And that's the best position ever. ForGG suddenly has a 40 supply lead. And he's about to complete +2/+2, which will give him a crazy lead in upgrades over Snute.
Yeah, how can it be that it took a minute to respond to the attack in the main base? Very late reaction from Snute and an unfortunate situation for him. ForGG in the meantime doesn't let up in the aggression. Why should he? Medivacs, he's going to lose them, but at the same time he's once again staging an attack in the bottom of the map here. Widow mines spread every which way and Bio taking a position there at the bottom.
Snute is in a lot of trouble there. He's lucky that that Widow mine didn't get a shot off, but this one might. Killing a couple of Zerglings here would have been much worse if it hit the Banelings, but still the Marines are once again stimming away and are still doing some damage, trying to snipe a few of the Banelings. That on the other, nice reaction here by the Terran player. I mean, that was really well done. I thought those drops were dead for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Even as he was microing the army at the bottom, to still be that quick on that, very nice alertness for him. Now the finishing game army moving across the map. Maybe, anyway, if that works out well for him with 2/2 upgrades finished. And Zerg doesn't have second melee upgrade.
It's just incredible to see how much damage he really does with just the 2/2 upgrades, whereas usually it's the 3/3 upgrades you're really worried about. Because that's something where the Terran player will definitely have that lead. The mid game is something where Zerg is supposed to be this, like having its strongest part, but that's not really the case here. Once again, a drop in the main base, and even with all this Overlord spread that we see for Snute, he's just not ready to respond to this. ForGG is playing a really incredible game, and Mutalism against Marines, never a good idea. Bit of ground support helping out there, but that's not a trade that is worth it for the Zerg player, not at all.
Yeah, Snute is very hard pressed to deal with the excellent multitasking and micro from ForGG. It's truly amazing the level of play that we see coming here for ForGG. And Snute, maybe he might have done it against a lesser Terran player, but not ForGG, who is dominantly assuring a 3-0 victory and advancement out of this group. At least if he wins the next one as well.
Snute is trying he's trying whatever is possible, and he is really trying to control the map with the Mutalisks. There's just too much going on. There's too much pressure, too many positions that ForGG is attacking at the same time. He's just out macroing his opponent.
Widow mines burrowed everywhere.
Just these positions that he has at the choke points where he's engaging, the splits that we see against the Banelings, the Marines going strong against the Mutalisks. It's like Snute doesn't find the answer. He has no clue how to react to this. It's just way too much pressure. And the craziest thing is that behind all of this, the macro for ForGG is exactly what it has to be. He's taking base after base. He's getting his upgrades. He is not letting up on any position. He's now trying to put pressure on that fourth base once again. Probably, yeah, there's a double drop heading towards the main again. And Snute is just spread out way too thin.
Yeah. Snute barely able to push past the 150 supply mark. It went wrong ever since he lost that much drones in the pool in the main base, and since then it never really let up. And ForGG, he keeps doing this, attacking between base number 1 and 4. It's the maximum distance for Zerg to try and defend, and it's a way for ForGG to circumvent the problem that Mutalisks pose. Make sure that they can only be in one place at the same time.
A 60 supply army lead, and that fourth base is gone, distracting his opponent once again with a drop in the main base. He forced the reaction. Snute had to go back and defend. He used his Mutalisks. They are, of course, lacking at defense to the bottom left. Snute loses the base there, is now trying to move in, but he can't really do a whole lot. That bunker is doing so much damage against the Mutalisks alone already, and the Terran player just starts to push into the third right now. And here comes the rest of the army from a completely different angle. Oh, those Banelings, the Widow Mines could do so much damage to them. And the Terran player is everywhere. And Snute, he is absolutely clueless what to do against it. And actually, I don't have an answer either. This is amazing. Incredible play by ForGG, the GG call by Snute, and I mean, that was a crushing 3-0 victory. The Terran player is just absolutely on a roll. He's 9-0 now in the tournament, not dropping a single map up to now.
Yeah, truly incredible performance there by ForGG. And Snute just wasn't a match for him today.
I mean, that was really, really well played. This was just attacking at so many positions at the same time, and defending against this is incredibly difficult. I mean, you're so spread out with your entire army. Maybe with a couple of spore crawlers and spines, but then you need the economy to build that up. It's just like, that was nearly flawless game by ForGG. Really, really well played there.